guys doing? My name is Chris Matthews. I'm your relationship coach and licensed marriage and family therapist. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 steps to treating infidelity. In my work as a marriage and family therapist, a lot of couples come in and they ask the question, can my marriage be saved after infidelity? And if so, how do we survive cheating? So I'm going to list the 5 different phases that clinicians will use to treat infidelity. Let's jump right into it with phase 1. When you come into counseling, phase 1 is going to be to ensure that safety and hope are created through treatment while dealing with the impact of the affair. So let's break that down for a little bit. First and foremost, infidelity is looked upon as a trauma. Traumas can be defined essentially as everything's fine one day, wham, you wake up the next day, your whole life has changed. That's usually the experience that couples are having when infidelity takes place. So the clinician or the therapist is going to first work to create some type of contractual agreement. Are you going to be working to save the marriage? Are you going to be working to dissolve the marriage peacefully? Or are you ambivalent and we need to figure that out through the process? It's going to be one of those 3 areas. Next, the therapist is going to work with the hurt partner to be able to express their hurt where it doesn't blind or retract the offensive partner or the cheating partner. That's important because it takes 2 to tango. So as a clinician, if the hurt partner is so emotional and lashing out to the point where we can't have a discussion or a conversation, then talk therapy won't be a good fit. Also, in this initial phase, we're exploring how each partner communicates when it comes to the reason for sustaining or keeping the marriage together. Usually, if partners have kids or financial attachments or external investments or assets, there's going to be more skin in the game to actually prepare and treat a marriage after infidelity. The phase 2 is going to look like restoring and recreating hope in the relationship while also fostering safety and commitment. So that safety and commitment piece is going to be ongoing, but now we add the new instrument of evoking hope. So what does that look like? Encouraging and supporting the unfaithful partner and taking responsibility for the affair. And I've done videos in the past about forgiveness. So forgiveness has to start with understanding, acknowledging that you hurt your partner. That's tough because when you hurt someone you love, you have to be reminded that you were the causation of that person's pain. I give couples a little technique. Have you ever heard the story of the girlfriend or the girl that was being hurt by the bad boyfriend, and she starts talking to the single coworker male, and he becomes the friend, and he's listening to the hurt female talk about the bad boyfriend? It's easy for a male or even a female for that matter to hear another person talk about them being hurt because they didn't cause it. So the offending partner in the marriage has to become that friend and listen to their hurt partner without seeing themselves as the culprit. That's tough. I'm not saying don't take responsibility. What I am saying is create a space in your mind to be able to empathize and understand with your partner without being blinded by your own shame, guilt, and regret. The next phase that the therapist will walk you and your partner down is the repair and rebuild phase, which looks like exploring and understanding the context of the affair. So that work looks like deconstructing the meaning of the affair, exploring and working on dysfunctional relationship patterns, and understanding external stressors that might have led to the fractures that made way for the infidelity to occur. The therapist will also foster the process of unfaithful partners answering the questions that the hurt partner may have. That can be tough. I tell couples in this process, only ask for what you need to know. Some partners need to know all details to be secure to move forward. Other partners just need to know smaller details. This is a tricky process in counseling, because I've had some partners that would have made it and sustained the relationship if a certain key factor wasn't made known. For example, a couple I was treating, she said that what broke the camel's back for her is when she found out that her husband cheated in their marital bed. If she wouldn't have gotten that information, she would have been able to move forward. When she found out that he actually had sex with another woman in their bed, it was too much to bear. So be careful in this phase if you're treating infidelity to make sure that you're aware of when you turn that stone over, it could be something that you may not want to know or needed to know if you have plans of healing or rebuilding. The fourth phase that the therapist will walk you down is constructing a narrative of the affair. So what's that look like? Defining the context of the affair, previous life affecting events, the unfaithful partner's beliefs, history of the affair, and the family of origin. For example, a lot of times when I do a genogram, which is a family map per se, the affair or the cheating partner will usually have a history of either cheating on other past partners or their parents had a history of infidelity or affairs as well. So it can usually be correlated to learned behaviors. Next, identifying other issues that need work. Sometimes infidelity can be done out of spite or disconnection. The spite of, I don't get what I need to feel secure or heard, so I'm going to go out and get those feelings met somewhere else. It could also be a power differential or struggle. A lot of times when I meet women that have cheated on their male partners, it's usually designed as a way, and they may not even be conscious of it, to exert power or to regain or rebuild some level of respect that was lost. And don't get me wrong, cheating is not a great way to do that, but I have seen that occur. Also, in this phase, we start the forgiveness process because we've developed understanding, we've established commitment. Now it's time to really start rebuilding the new home or the new house. I tell you guys in other videos that infidelity is literally going to be like the atomic bomb crashing down. It's going to be a house fire. Everything's going to be destroyed, but there's certain fragments that you can go back into the rubble and pull out. So for example, if you and your partner are great co-parents, great co-providers, and you have complementary behaviors that can be moved to the new marriage, awesome. But there's going to be the death of trust, and then that has to be rebuilt or reborn. The last final phase that the clinician will work you through is achieving a mastery of meaning. So understanding in detail why the affair or infidelity occurred, and then moving forward to create a post-affair relationship. So rebuilding that brand new home that can foster ongoing safety and security that was lost from the prior relationship or the prior marriage. What does that look like? Identifying the lessons learned. So the therapist in that closing phase will reflect on and ensure that you guys have the tools and resources to go back, to remember how to cope and deal with some of the triggers that might be present for the entire lifeline of the relationship. Also, recommitting. I love to have couples either renew the vows or reestablish a recommitment date. That way, you're turning over a new leaf and you have a concrete, definitive date or time to reflect on that illustrates a new marriage or a new relationship. Also, discussing ways to maintain emotional and sexual intimacy and closeness. Usually, infidelity is developed because there was a gap that grew large and created space for cheating to occur. So the clinician wants to make sure that you both have the awareness to hem up that gap when you start to see cracks being created. Those cracks can be created through complacency and just life getting in the way. Last but not least, that phase is about fostering forgiveness and ensuring that closure happens. Closure doesn't mean being naive. Closure means having the boundaries in play to prevent being hurt again. I hope these 5 phases of infidelity treatment were helpful, so when you go to counseling, if infidelity or cheating is something that you're working on healing, you understand why and what the clinician is going to be doing. These phases are not linear, meaning the clinician may jump around based on where you, the client, are. At the end of the day, though, however, all 5 of these phases need to be covered. My name is Chris Matthews. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and your relationship coach. I hope that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave comments, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the other side for more videos.
No, you can never go back. I gotta take it on the other side.